Well, hey Jason, it's good to talk with you today. For those of you that are listening, I'm Sara Breyfogle, the music therapist with Hospice Savannah, and this is Jason Salzer, one of our dedicated music volunteers. How you doing today,
Yeah, hey
Jason?
Sarah. Yeah, thanks for having me. Nice to see you today.
Nice to see you too. So we're
Uh-huh.
coming to you guys today because we really feel like it's important to share with our community, about the importance of maintaining connection. Because it's really hard to connect with each other when there is a pandemic going on and we're not able to get out in the community and specifically for music, make music together, even visit some of our hospice patients that we would normally going into their homes and playing music for them, or our facilities that we go to. So we just wanted to broadcast this to you guys just so that we can maintain that connection with you. Um, and we're also going to share some of our process specifically today about songwriting because we both, to some degree, engage in writing songs. So I'm going to start with a question for you, Jason, just so that we get to know you a little bit. How did you get started? Because I know you're a songwriter, but how did you get started with music in general, and then how did you get started with songwriting specifically?
Okay. Well, how I got started with music in general, I've always loved music as a child. And I grew up in the age of radio when you kind of listened to the top 40 and some of your favorite songs came on. I believe it was on Sunday mornings. They would do Casey Kasem's top 40. And I remember being a kid and waiting for my favorite songs to come on back then. So I've always loved music and the way it made me feel and gave me energy. And I got my first guitar when I was 10 years old as a Christmas gift and started taking lessons and just really enjoyed it and have always liked playing guitar and playing music for other people and the response that we get when we do that. Um, but as far as the process for writing a song, I remember the first song that I ever wrote, Sarah, was, of course, about a breakup I had. And it was really just lyrics that came to my head, almost like a letter I wanted to write someone. And the lyrics just kind of came out, but they came out in the form of a melody. And I still remember to this day, those lyrics and that song. I was probably like 13 or 14 when that came to me. Um, and I knew at that moment that I had a gift for writing lyrics and melody and expressing myself that way. And so through the years from that point forward, I just started honing my craft. And I wasn't real serious about it at first. I just enjoyed writing songs and the way it made me feel. And before long, I was playing my guitar and creating chord progressions with melodies and lyrics and just fell in love with it. And it's a process. Sometimes you write something that you're happy with. Sometimes you write something that you never play again. But it's all a part of the process of getting it out there and just kind of seeing how it makes you feel and how it makes other people feel. So that's kind of my process of writing and how I got into it.
That's neat. And you mentioned, playing for other people was meaningful to you and really feeling that response that they might give back to you. So I was wondering in my head as you were talking, like what drew you to kind of coming to our organization at Hospice Savannah, specifically with people that are going through a really hard time in their life and are sometimes on their deathbeds,
Wow.
end of their life. So, what kind of drew you to reach out to us in terms of volunteering with us at hospice?
Yeah, I appreciate that question. And to be honest, my family and I moved to Savannah about 7 years ago. And I guess I've been volunteering with Hospice Savannah for about 2 years, I think. And before then, I'd never really thought about it. But the turning point for me was I was watching a video online, a YouTube video. I've got a guilty pleasure of watching those videos that make you tear up.
Yeah.
And I came across a video of someone who was battling cancer, and they were lying in bed, and one of their favorite music artists came in the room and surprised them, happened to be coming through town on tour. And the way this person lit up, who was battling cancer and seemed to have no energy at all, the way this person lit up and got out of bed and just was so overjoyed. I just thought to myself, God has given me a gift to play music, and it's my responsibility to share this gift with other people and make some sort of impact in my community. Because I truly believe that we're all given gifts, and if you don't use those gifts, you're kind of wasting those gifts. So that's kind of how I feel about that. But your job has always interested me, and I was wondering how you even got into music therapy and what brought you to Savannah to pursue that.
Right. Well, I was very lucky to discover music therapy pretty early in my life. I was educated on what music therapy was as a profession when I was later in high school, which was the perfect time because then I was kind of thinking about my career and what I wanted to do. So I ended up going to a school that had music therapy program, and I just decided I would try it. If I wanted to switch, I would switch majors, but I did end up loving it. I just kept taking course after course, and then when I got to start actually working with patients and clients in the community, it really hooked me. So I've just kept on that course ever since. And I grew up a musician as well, like you. My instrument was the flute, and then kind of branched out into other instruments and singing as well. So that's what got me started with it. I had a couple family members go through the hospice program where they lived, and I got to kind of see hospice firsthand, and I have always thought that music therapy and hospice just really are a wonderful fit and go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. My grandfather was in hospice several years ago, and when we were living down here in Savannah, my grandmother was back in Tennessee, which is where we're from, and she was getting to that age to where she couldn't care for herself anymore. And so whenever I would come and visit a patient, it kind of made me think of my grandmother and being able to be with her as well. But you also write songs, don't you?
I do. I wouldn't call myself a songwriter, maybe to the extent that you do, because I write songs mainly within my professional work. Not that I've never written them personally, but I find them most meaningful within the context of my work because it really does help someone express their inner feelings, and it's one of the main domains of music therapy experiences or interventions is helping someone compose music or write lyrics to their own song. So those are some of the most inspiring songs that I've ever contributed to. Actually, the client or the patient was actually the one who I would say wrote the song, but just kind of being the musical expertise behind that and helping that song come to life. And also just writing songs in dedication to my patients. I just love the way that people light up when they hear a song that was composed specifically for them.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, you should share one with us.
Well, I would love to. You see that I'm sitting beside my mountain dulcimer, which I got from
Okay.
North Carolina. So I decided that I wanted to write a song with this instrument. It's got kind of like this drone quality to it that you'll hear. And I felt like I wanted to write a song kind of about my experience as a music therapist in coronavirus times because as I said earlier, it's hard to maintain that connection. So the song that I wrote is called Maintaining Connection. And basically it's about how I maintain connection with my patients in my community when I can't see them in person.
Excellent.
maintaining connection, maintaining connection with you, with you. We meet for music therapy and I haven't met you yet. I am holding a guitar, standing at your door. Maintaining connection, maintaining connection with you, with you. Coronavirus crisis came, chaos came to town. The news was very grim indeed, so I could not come around. Maintaining connection, maintaining connection with you, with you. Well, I'll call you on the telephone and I'll call you up on Zoom. I'll make you a video, I'll make you a CD. Maintaining connection, maintaining connection with you, with you. Someday this all will come to pass and I'll see you again. Music holds the both of us through the thick and thin. Maintaining connection, maintaining connection with you, with you, with you, with you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's awesome. What a great melody.
Yeah, I think of melodies first sometimes. I'll think
Uh-huh.
of the theme and then the melody will come and then the words come. That's usually how it happens for me.
Yeah, you really kind of stuck to the matter of fact lyric of what's going on, in detail, which I enjoyed. So that Mountain Dulcimer, is that just an open G tuning?
It's an open D.
Open D tuning. Okay.
Yeah.
Because you play multiple instruments. I've always been impressed. I've never seen you not see an instrument that you didn't know how to play.
Oh, no, there's plenty of instruments that I have never touched before.
But you play guitar, piano, flute, dulcimer.
Yeah, it's part of being a music therapist, and the stringed instruments, specifically the ones that you can carry around, are the ones that I mostly use because I'm a traveling music therapist. But yes, the piano is also really useful in writing songs too.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to turn the conversation back to you because I know that you write lots of songs and you probably have a whole repertoire of songs to dig from, but I know that you've prepared a special song from your repertoire to share with us today. So I'm excited to hear you introduce that song and to share that with us today.
Okay. Wow, you've put me on the spot. The pressure is, you've really built up the pressure. Excuse me. Well, I didn't really pull from my repertoire. I'll be honest. I wrote this song this past weekend. Now, some songs are a challenge to write. You labor over the melody, you labor over the lyric. But some songs are just a gift and they fall right into your lap. And this song is certainly one of those songs. I call this song Outside My Door. And I'll just play it for you, but it is kind of a reflection, my interpretation of what's going on in our country right now. And this song just kind of came to me on Saturday of last week, so I'll share that with you.
Oh, I love it. So is this going to be a premiere of your song?
This is a premiere of this song.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm so excited to hear it.
So the pressure is on. I hope I can remember the lyrics. So I think it goes like this, Sarah. I won't stay in my lane anymore. I'm gonna color outside of the lines. I swear this time for sure. Can't ignore. Cry for help outside my door. Sometimes prayer just ain't enough. We need to work as one, roll our sleeves up, walk hand in hand, step for step. Fight for love till there's no fight left. This light, mine is gonna shine. I need to be changed. I hope to see in the world, change the world. Starting here and starting now, these walls I've built, I'm tearing down. Will you sit with me? Talk. Truth will set us free. Honestly, all I can do is appreciate a point of view I was blinded to. Now it's clear. Starting now, starting here, this light, mine is gonna shine. I, I, I need to be changed. I hope to see in the world, change the world. I need to believe the change I want to see in the world starts with me. I won't stay in my lane anymore. I'm gonna color outside of the lines. I swear this time for sure. Can't ignore. Cry for help outside my door.
Yay! Audience of one for now. Oh, wow. The lyrics specifically, I need to be the change I wish to see in the world. Those really were powerful lyrics to me, especially given what's been on the news lately with the protesting and the rioting, in addition to this pandemic that we're going through. So that really touched my heart.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was as I said, it was an easy song to write, and those lyrics just, I feel like God just dropped those right into my lap, and that song just came out very easily. And I'm hoping that people can relate to that song and they feel a certain way when they hear that tune.
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal.
Yeah, well, I definitely felt uplifted by that, and
Good.
I just felt like you were giving me something that I needed to receive in that moment. So thank you for that.
Excellent. My pleasure.
Oh, wow. So I just can't wait to share this with our community, Jason. And just, in wrapping up, and I think this kind of ties into the theme of your song. I just wanted to kind of get your opinion on how you think that music can help, because we both know that it can help in times of distress, in times of pandemonium, in times of chaos and pain, both emotional and physical. Um, I mean, it's a big question, but how do you think that music kind of comes in and helps us in those times?
Well, that is a big question and a seemingly difficult question to answer, but the reality is this: music is about one of the only things that we have as human beings that connect us all in good times, in bad times, in comfortable times, in times of struggle, in times of distress, in times of happiness. There is a song that fits that time and communicates that time. The beauty of music is it can be interpreted in so many different ways. And so usually the way that an individual interprets that music is how they're feeling in that moment. And that's the beauty of music. And that's why we're blessed to be able to play music for people and do what we're able to do.
Yeah, I love that, and I totally agree with that. I mean, I think that we are all blessed, but in terms of, giving music to others, even if we can't give it live, even if it's over the internet, even if the sound quality isn't perfection, I feel like it's the thought and the emotion behind that music that comes through. And wherever you might be, if that music can reach you, um, that it can turn into a really special moment that can uplift people. And I know that I've personally experienced that with music. Music is my medicine for sure. Um, so
Absolutely. Well, Hospice Savannah does amazing work. I'm proud to be a volunteer and have the opportunity to play music for the patients in Hospice Savannah. And again, you guys just do amazing things. And I'm just afraid to think where a lot of people would be without you. So thank you for all that y'all do.
well, you are welcome. I suppose on the behalf of Hospice Savannah, we are so grateful, and hospice in general is built from volunteers, and volunteers are a core part of our community. And so we just wanted to also say thank you to all of our hospice volunteers. Even though you don't feel like maybe you're able to help very much, you are. Like, I use my mask that the volunteers made me every time I go out, and I think of you guys. So kudos to you, and also to all of our community that's listening to this conversation. Thank you for listening to our conversation. I hope that the songs that Jason and I shared served in some small way to uplift you.
For sure. Thanks, Sarah. Nice to see you.